You don't need fixing. You're not broken. In this world of personal development and growth journeys and healing journeys and so on, I want to make it abundantly clear that you are not a personal development project. You are not a self-improvement project. This journey of growth is about growing into yourself and becoming more of you and feeling safe in being yourself. Someone recently said something that blew my mind and really made me sit and think. They said, there's nothing to change, but there is so much to embody. As we grow up, we receive so much messaging about ourselves that tells us certain traits of ours are bad and certain traits of us aren't useful to society. And oh, you're never going to get a job if you continue doing things like this. And the way that you naturally function is not socially acceptable, and you need to change it, and you need to shrink parts of yourself in order to make it out there when you grow up. And as kids, we don't necessarily have the ability for nuance, and so we internalize those things and consider ourselves to be defective, and consider ourselves to be not good enough, and consider ourselves to need to shrink certain parts of us and try to embody things that are outside of us. And the truth of the matter is that you are enough as you are. You are the way that you are for a reason, and you deserve to be able to feel comfortable in being who you are. Yes, there is room for growing and for change and for development, but don't allow that to make you feel as though you are less than. When I look at a lot of the content out there about how to be more confident, how to deal with low self-esteem, all of those things, the low self-esteem and the low confidence comes from societal programming. It comes from having been told things about yourself that are not true, that the traits that you naturally possess are negative things. And so understand that the journey of growing is simply about growing into yourself. This isn't a journey of becoming this otherworldly perfect being. This is a journey of becoming comfortable with who you are and becoming comfortable and safe to explore yourself in its fullness. It's really important to remember that as we grow and as we improve, because the journey is not linear. The journey is not linear, and sometimes some of the things that you discover and understand about yourself can feel like steps back, even though they're not. They're just different sides and different layers, and you owe nobody, not even yourself, perfection. It's unrealistic, it's unattainable. You don't have anything to prove. The bottom line is you are enough as you are, and there's no two ways about it, whether you like it or not. And it's just a case of discovering all that you are and leaning into as much of yourself as you have access to at any given moment in time, and really going back to who you were before the world told you everything that you're not. And it's about growing into a life of ease, growing into a life that feels psychologically safe for you and that feels good. I know that for me, when I was dealing with like a lot of low self-esteem, a lot of low confidence, I would walk around the room anxious, unable to trust my own judgment and things like that. And as I've learned more about myself, I've found that certain things that I considered like negative traits before, because I was told that they were, have just become part of who I am. And I accommodate for them, and I allow myself now to function as me. And that's why I'm so big on building a life that works for you, because you are completely different to me and to anybody else on the internet, even anybody else in your family and in your social circles. What works for you might not work for them. What works for them and what they need might not be the same for you. And so it's about coming into the fullness of yourself and figuring out what you need in order to be yourself and in order to embody who you are on a daily basis. You're not a thing that needs to be fixed. You are enough, you are valuable, you are lovable, you deserve to feel that in your everyday life. And the journey of growth is about growing into you. It's not about being like anybody else. Taking inspiration from people is great, but don't allow that to be your driving force in terms of wanting to be like specific people. And that's it from me. I hope this was useful. You're enough, you're amazing, you're incredible, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.